to order the regular governing board meeting of the Jefferson Elementary School District for August 24th, 2022. Ms. Covray, may we please get members present?
Manufo Leah Inga Andawai is not present. Marie Brizuela. Andrea Jordan.
Here.
Shaquille Ali is not present. Clayton Koo.
Here. Next is the Pledge of Allegiance, led by students from Margaret Pauline Brown Elementary School.
Right hand on your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Good job. Cool. Thank you very much. Next is the approval of tonight's agenda.
Second.
First and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I was off. I was really talking, but this was off.
Next is 5A, special presentations. Margaret Pauline Brown Youth Cinema Project. Staff and students from Margaret Pauline Brown Elementary School will share learnings, awards, and other achievements from the previous 5 years of participation in the Youth Cinema Project. At the end of the 2021-2022 school year, some students were able to attend the Los Angeles Latino International Film Festival, LALIFF, where their films were screened and they participated in other learning activities. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rebecca Kawili. It is with great honor and privilege to present to the board members and administration of Jefferson Elementary School District the work and recognitions Margaret Pauline Brown has achieved with Youth Cinema Project since we started our journey with them 5 years ago. Some highlights of the past years: team building activities with the class is vital because the students learn how to work together and communicate with each other. Because there are a lot of equipment, the mentors take them through the purpose and setting up the equipments correctly and safely. Through the years, we've had workshops. Acting can be intimidating for many students. Cristal Gonzalez of El Teatro Campesino came to one of the classes to help students build their confidence in acting. Lighting is an important part of filming to set the right mood for scenes. Erica Flores, who is now YCP's program director, came into one of the classes to define the role of assistant directors in filming. A known editor, Michael New of Marvel's Jessica Jones on Netflix, came to show the students how editing is done. The class analyzed a few clips and helped make decisions why they were important clips to add to the show. Putting it all together always amazes me. The students are focused on their roles and are confident that they are part of a project that they can be proud of. Since 2017, the students' films are posted on YouTube. 2020, the year we went on lockdown, didn't stop us from presenting the films we worked hard on. Lichi Huang's script, Samantha, was chosen and read during YCP's live reads. Gabriel Obado won the script writing competition. His script was also read by actors in the industry. This was a different script from the script that he wrote that the students made. So he was encouraged to write another script and he won the script writing competition. 2020-2021 school year, we had our film class virtually. Despite the many challenges, YCP created lessons that still focused on their mission statement. The class created PSAs, or public service announcements. One of the production groups won first place, and another was recognized as runner-up. So the title was COVID-19, and the boys drew the cartoons, and we filmed it using the iPad. Last school year presented a lot of challenges. We had the largest number in film class with 35 students. Because of this, YCP needed to be convinced that we were being safe and following the COVID protocols. Therefore, we had the lessons in the library where we had a little more space. Acknowledging the challenges everyone faced, YCP chose and gave students opportunities to attend La Leaf, which is the film festival in LA, last summer on their expense. Bianca Pires was chosen for her performance in production group, and she attended the writing workshop at La Leaf, and Bianca is here with us tonight. Sarah Lee was chosen for her role in the film, The Big Mars Vacation. She was the Karen in the film, attended a writing workshop at La Leaf. Roberto Orozco Rocha's script was read in live reads. Javi Dominguez and Eloise Aison attended La Leaf with their families, and they're also with us tonight. And these are just some of the pictures of us on the red carpet. So Bianca was, and all of them, the three of them were interviewed by La Leaf. They were asked questions. Next slide. And there's Edward James Olmos. These are the Dominguez brothers. They're proud YCP alumni. Jorge, on the left, attended La Leaf in 2019, and Javi attended in 2022. Roberto's script, titled The Big Mars Vacation, was chosen to be read by actors during the film festival. Unfortunately, Roberto was not able to attend because of the short notice, but he was interviewed. I'm proud of the script because it was unlike any that the students have written. We were excited to film, but we were faced with the challenge of creating the setting of Mars and the rocket ship. Because we didn't have any funds to create the setting the writer had initially imagined, we made do with what we had. So this one is the interview of Roberto. I just saw this yesterday at our training, and even if he was not there at the red carpet, you will see how dapper he looked. He was really prepared, and his answers were great. I was hoping that YCP would give me a copy of the video for tonight, but unfortunately, it didn't make it.
Another day.
Yes, definitely. June 2022, Daly City premiere. The parents and I were so happy that the school district was able to resume showing the students' films before the end of the school year. I personally enjoy film class with the kids. The learning that happens is authentic and incredible. I'm glad that another class in the school district can have the same experience I've had with my students. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Eloise. I was a writer and producer for Leah Gets Lost, and I attended Lali with my families. I love that we got the opportunity to do film this year because it was a fun way for me to express and be a part of a big project and watch it when I grow older. Hi, my name is Javi, and I was the producer for The Big Mars Vacation, and I acted as Michael for the last tryout. My experience of La Leaf was amazing. When I walked down the red carpet, I knew I would want to do it again because it was just a great experience. And me and my brother are both now alumni of YCP. Thank you. Yeah. Hi, my name is Bianca. I was the writer for The Two Sisters and acted as the teacher for Leah Gets Lost. It was all exciting to go to La Leaf, the red carpet, and to get interviewed. When I was there, it just felt amazing, and I felt like I accomplished something really big. I also really like to see other schools' films and go to the writer's workshop because I got to work with an amazing writer and got to create one scene that two actors acted out. And then everything was just amazing to get to work in a team to create these films and to get the chance to go to the Leaf.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Colleagues or comments from board members?
Good evening, everyone, and congratulations to the students and everyone who was a part of, excuse me, Youth Cinema Project. I feel very satisfied and happy with the little glimpse that I got to see tonight. And it's just amazing to hear the stories from the students. Eloise, I believe, right? I liked hearing about how you had a way to express yourself and be a part of a big project. And then Javi, yeah, that experience at the red carpet, I was there a couple of years ago. I didn't get to go on the red carpet. So, but I got to see our students be showcased and highlighted like that. And I did get to go to the party afterwards at the Roosevelt Hotel. So I won't say any more details about that.
I'll tell you.
And then Bianca, right? Yeah, just hearing about your experience too at the red carpet. And you're right, you did accomplish something big. So you all deserve all the accolades that we could ever give you. And thank you so much. I'm glad, and I always want to give a lot of thanks to Superintendent Vidales for letting us twist his arm a little bit and go down there and really see it in action and do what we needed to do to make it happen here. And yeah, that's enough. I don't want to say too much. I'll give you something to say.
So I echo my fellow board trustee sentiments. I'm really proud to see you all here and what you were able to accomplish, being able to be creative and do something outside of your regular day-to-day math, English, day-to-day curriculum, I think is going to help you so much in the long run. You know, you might even think about doing that as a career if you liked it so much. There's so many opportunities within film, whether that be writing, whether that be an actor, whether that be producing. There's just so many possibilities. And there's so much that you can create and do that no one has ever done before. And so I commend you for doing it and, you know, keep doing that, keep being creative. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You are capable of achieving anything and everything that you want to. And then thank you, Superintendent, for allowing, you know, us to be able to provide this for our students. And obviously, thank you, Rebecca, for moving this along. It's just so exciting to see, and I'm just so grateful and happy to see it here today in this board meeting. Thank you.
Okay, well, I don't want to repeat everything that they said, but I was really happy about it. I wish I had known about it. I would have certainly gone to see you guys live. But I don't know. I think somehow that got not put out to us. So if you do get to perform again, I want to be there. I want to be able to see everything that you boys and girls are doing and keep up the work because there's more to come. you know, you're going to be moving on in the higher grades, and you'll be ready to do anything, you know. And even those of you that write, you just think you can write a nice play for high school. Okay, so don't give up. Keep trying, and I hope I can see the next time you guys are doing something. Please do send us an invitation so I can applaud you. Okay, thank you. I don't want to say too much because I take all the time.
Just put it next to your mouth. That's right.
Thank you, Mr. Valenti.
That's better.
Good evening, everyone. Pardon my tardiness, but this was something some of us were able to ask for, and as we've heard, Superintendent Vidalis did what he needed to do to ensure that it came to fruition. I have such a huge admiration for Ms. Kawili, who was a teacher of my youngest, and I just have a debt of gratitude for the care and compassion and also just commitment that was needed when we needed a leader to take this on, because we could not implement this without having someone at the helm. And because of your commitment and your investment, this program continues at MP Brown. So I'm very grateful and want to share that with you, because you open a door to the imagination of many of our students that gets locked in many times. And Edward James almost knew that this pathway was needed for these stories to be unearthed and told. And we need to find more creative ways for our students to learn and to find themselves in their school, in their community. And we need to be comfortable with taking those risks, because the reward is huge. And that is what we're seeing tonight. So congratulations to you. I'm so impressed. You guys coming up and taking the mic. You guys are on fire. You guys are ready. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Act and speak up. At the end of the year, it's always they're blooming, all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's evident. It's evident. So keep on pushing, keep on dreaming, and don't let anyone else tell you that your story is not to be told. But thank you again, and congratulations.
I'd like to ask a question, if I may. Are they going to be showing this at the theater?
The films are all on YouTube. We'll make sure you get all the links.
They will be, though.
Yeah, they're
right?
on YouTube currently. So if you were to go on YouTube and do YCP, we'll make sure you guys get all the links for it.
No, wait, you're saying on YouTube? Oh, they're not going to get the theater? Huh? Oh,
Mrs. Brizuela, they were shown last June at the theater, and everyone got to see them, and I will stand out.
I didn't know about it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
would've
sorry you
gone.
didn't get, we all got invitations, so,
No, I didn't get an invitation.
okay. So
Excuse me.
we will be able to see them on your computer. I'll send that to you.
Sorry.
I just want to also just extend my congratulations to the program. I would say, I think when we first heard about this idea 5 years ago or so at the csba conference, it was just an idea. And it is great to see that it actually is a real program, actually one of our schools. There's been generation of students now who's actually been able to like participate and enjoy it. So I just want to say thank you, Ms. Kawe, as well as all the people at the school, staff, and just the students who were able to enjoy this program. And look forward to seeing more of it in the years to come as well. And then beyond that, we also have a couple certificates for our students tonight. So I'm going to pass these along to my colleagues.
This is a certificate of appreciation for your participation in the flag ceremony and your special presentation. And this is presented to Javier Dominguez.
Certificate of appreciation for participation in the flag ceremony and special presentation goes to Bianca Peters.
My name is really hard. Given the 24th, given the 24th. Congratulations.
Thank you again, and let's give everybody another round of applause as well. Cool. Thank you for coming tonight. So we're going to move along. Next item's item 6A, communications, board member acknowledgement and commendations. I'll let Mr. Alif go first.
Good evening, and once again. So as we begin the school year again, and I see more and more thumbnails on YouTube talking about teacher shortages, I'd like to acknowledge all the teachers that came back and showed up to work, and we're ready to go, right? Thank you.
Want to welcome everybody back to this school year. I hope everyone had a rested summer, and to Trustee Ali's point, teacher shortages, nursing staff shortages, just, shortages all across the board. And so we really do appreciate our staff here in this district. And I know we have something on the agenda with regards to nursing as well. So I'm excited to see that. I want to make sure that we have the resources that we need to continue to provide the best that we can for our students. So welcome back.
Well, I'm going to address what was talked about. Unfortunately, the reason we have a shortage is because nobody can afford to live here anymore, and that's really a shame. It's really a shame, and a lot of times I'm hearing from teachers that are moving far away where they can afford to live, buy a car, buy a house, and as much as they want to stay, it's way too much expensive here. But with that, I want to thank all the teachers that stuck with us, and administrators and everybody. But I'm sure that you don't have a problem with that, with like the younger folks. I had a teacher come to me, and she was moving to Texas so they could afford to buy a car and a house. And we lost a good teacher. So just pray for things getting better. And, but today's program was wonderful, and I'm glad that we were able to hear from the students, and very proud of it, and for the teachers taking all the time, the extra time, I'm sure, to get everybody ready. And if it gets to be shown live sometime, I will be there, because I like to see that and see them do their very best. So with that, I'm very proud of them. That's all.
Yeah, I agree with all that's been said. The cost of living and the high price of housing is a sacrifice that is being made by our educators and our staff, but also our families who are deciding to stay and tough it out. And it's not easy. It's not easy. But I believe that many have stayed because they not only believe in this work, but the community that has been built here in Daly City and in our school district. I know that we continue to take great pride in Jefferson Elementary because there's a lot of good work that happens here. And so I continue to believe that being in education is one of the most noble professions. So it's a thankless job many times. So don't ever forget, just because you don't hear it as often as many of you should, that you aren't appreciated, because you are. So thank you so much, and to all of you, a wonderful school year.
Cool. I want to echo my colleagues' comments in regards to the cost of living in the Bay Area, as well as lack of shortages of teachers across the country. I also wanted to say celebrate, or so not celebrate, but wish everybody a great start to the school year. I know a couple weeks ago I was able to attend Institute Day with our superintendent at TR Policita, so I was able to sort of see some of the teachers and staff learning, getting some of the training. So just want to
Can you repeat that about Policita?
sure, I was able to attend the Institute Day at TR Policita and Susan B. Anthony. It was just a training of the Friday before the start of school on, I think, different cohorts of teachers and staff getting some additional training. So just want to just commend all teachers for that and look forward to the start of a new school year.
Great.
Next comment is Superintendent Comments.
Thank you. So let me just remind us all that we should speak into our microphones. We might be able to hear each other, but it doesn't get picked up on the recording. So those folks who are watching from home don't get to appreciate your words. Yes, we had a very smooth opening of school just a week ago today. It seems much longer than that, but it was it was just 5 school days ago. Smooth opening across the district. Students are excited to be back. Teachers and staff are excited to be back. It's as if they had never left. Students picked up right where they left off. Even our kindergartners, this is the first year I think I only saw 1 kindergartner in tears. Usually it's about 2 or 3 at every school I visit. So this time I visited 4 schools on the first day and I only saw 1. So even the kindergartners were excited to come. And just want to remind you, and I'll get this information to you this Friday, but we do have open houses for our elementary school next Thursday. We can expect sometime between 5:30 and 6 is when they start, but I'll get you exact times. And then our middle schools the following Thursday. So I'll get that out to you. And another accomplishment and related to some of the comments made here today is that our workforce housing project is progressing along. Just today, there was some cement being poured into the forms for the slab and the footings. And so the modules, if you remember, we're getting them pre-built and they're getting brought over by truck. Last I saw, there were two pieces that came, but the other ones should be coming pretty soon. And then once they're all here, they start getting stacked in a matter of days, and you'll begin to see the housing of 56 units that will be available for staff, teachers and staff to live in. So that'll be an exciting day. Oh, and then the last thing is the city of Daly City in this last state budget, Mr. Phil Ting, assembly member for this district, worked to get about $3 million in the state budget for our city to improve safe routes to school. And so also next Thursday, sometime midday, time is yet to be set in stone, and I will let you know as soon as I know. There will be a press conference where Mr. Ting will share what he's doing for his district, and the city of Daly City is receiving the funds and will be improving the intersection at Hillside and East Market, where families from TR Policita and Susan B. Anthony cross on the regular. It's a very congested intersection, and anything we can do to improve pedestrian access and traffic there will be greatly appreciated.
Great.
Thank you. Next is item 7A, consent agenda. The administration recommends approval of the start items on the rest of tonight's agenda.
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
There is a first and a second. May I please get a roll call?
Miss Leah Inga Anawai,
Aye.
Mrs. Brizuela,
Aye.
Miss Jordan,
Aye.
Mr. Ali,
Aye.
Mr. Koo.
Aye. That was unanimous. Next is item 7C, resolution number 22-08-24C, to excuse Manufo Linga Anuai from the regular board meeting on June 8th, 2022. Pursuant to Education Code 35129C, the board will consider a request for passage of a resolution to excuse Manufo Linga Anawai's absence on June 8th, 2022 due to illness.
I move that we approve resolution number 220824C to excuse Manufo Liana Anoa'i from regular board meeting June 8, 2022.
Second.
First and second, may I please get a roll call?
Miss Leah Inga Anawai,
Aye.
Mrs. Brizuela,
Aye.
Miss Jordan,
Aye.
Mr. Ali,
Aye.
Mr. Koo.
Aye. That was unanimous. Next is item 7F, CSBA Annual Education Conference. Board members attend the CSBA Annual Education Conference to receive ongoing professional development in a variety of board member competencies. This year, the conference will be held in person in San Diego, California on December 1st to 3rd, 2022. There will be discussions to determine which board members would like to attend this year. The estimated cost of attending the conference for each person is approximately $2,250, $770 for regular registration, August 13th to November 11th, $175 for airfare round trip, $1,050 for lodging for 3 nights, and $250 for meals for 3 days, funded through the board conference budget. 2022-2023 conference budget is approximately $11,000. Board members can also opt to attend a pre-conference as well. Mr. Vidales, could you speak on this item?
Yeah, so we are trying to make arrangements to see who may be interested in attending the conference. So I know that we have 2 board members who will not be running for re-election, so they would be ineligible for attending. One who is running for re-election, you're returning, Ms. Jordan. And if Ms. Lienga Anoa'i is successful in her bid, she will not be able to attend. But we can certainly register you, because I usually register last. And if somebody cancels, then my conference fee is yeah, I get to utilize that conference. So, so just a discussion among 3 of you who are potentially here in
Did you
December.
forget me?
Yeah, you're not running for re-election.
No, I haven't made that decision yet.
Yeah.
I think I am running.
Okay. So you guys can have
One
that.
more year.
You guys can have that conversation, and we can decide from here. Those who attend do give a presentation in the month of January or February. So, any interest?
Yes, I'm interested.
I'm interested, however, I may have a conflict. However, I guess the question would be if I'm interested and the conflict prevails, then what would be what I don't want to do is waste the.
It's usually not a problem.
Okay.
We can do that. It's if you want to do a pre-conference seminar, that's usually what's more problematic, because they do fill up.
Got it. What I would like to do is look at the pre-conference, what the seminars are for the pre-conference, and I guess I will look to see because I understand there's probably a early bird fee if we register in advance. So if I can let you know by the end of next week, maybe that will hopefully I can still get the early bird fee.
Sure.
And we can
We'll-
all that stuff. Okay.
We'll connect.
Perfect.
Thank you.
I'm going to follow your recommendation. And so wherever that lands, we can discuss it then. Thank you.
So just count on me planning to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not attending, so I'm not. So I realize this requires an action. So, I guess what action would be required?
The action you would take is we have that we will be sending some board members, and I will speak to those who are board member candidates to determine if they're interested in attending and be able to do that. So you can say 5.
Okay.
So the motion could be to send 5 board members.
Would anyone like to make that motion?
I'd like to make a motion to send 5 board members to the CSBA annual conference in San Diego on December 1st through the 3rd of 2022.
I'll second the motion.
First and a second, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That was unanimous. Next is item 7G, CSBA call for nominations for directors at large. CSBA is seeking nominations for directors at large, Asian Pacific Islander, and Hispanic. The administration recommends that the board considers making a nomination. Nomination packets are due to the superintendent by September 14th, 2022 for consideration at the September 28th board meeting. This is submitted for the board's information.
I just wanted to let the board know that this is a call for nominations are out. The process we usually follow is if you find someone that you'd like to nominate, you contact them, get their permission. They have to submit a lot of information and then turn it into me so that we can consider it at a future board meeting.
Thank you. Any comments from board members? Not? Okay, thank you very much. Next item is 7S, letter in support of AB 1919. The governing board will consider, if still applicable, sending a letter in support of AB 1919.
Yeah, thank you. So Ms. Leingano has brought this to my and President Ku's attention. AB 1919 is a state program very similar to what San Mateo County supervisors have instituted here in San Mateo County, but it is longer living. It's a free youth public transportation pass. Currently, the last status of this bill is that it had passed the Senate it originated in the Assembly, passed there, went to the Senate, had some amendments, and now it's back in the Assembly. So the Assembly is to vote on it sometime in the next week. So the consideration tonight is should the board vote to support this, we have a letter that will be signed by us, and we can put it we can send it electronically tomorrow to, at this point, would be our Assembly members. Ms. Leingano, would you like to speak on the importance of this?
Sure. I think we've heard some of the sentiment this evening that any opportunity that we have to curb any cost of living that has impacted many of our families and our communities, I would think that we would benefit as leaders in our community, sitting in these seats as policymakers in our own community to support this. And just for clarity, my understanding is that if this is something we would support and want to pursue, that it is a grant that then would come to the administrators to, is that right? Because I read the bill. I'm not sure if that's what you.
I don't think I read it as clearly. Maybe you don't want to support it if I have to deal with it.
Yeah.
No, but if it is run very similarly to the San Mateo County program,
It is.
which is just 1 year at a time, it is something that the districts opt in to participate in, and we provide information and gets given to us, and then we distribute the passes to our students. Another advantage is not only the cost that our families get to save in this, but we talked about traffic, and if more students had the option of taking public transportation, there may be fewer cars around our middle schools at least. And lastly, of course, if folks are taking public transportation, there are less carbon emissions in the air. So it has multiple benefits. And if the board votes in favor of a support letter, we can, I believe, both our assembly members and our senators are very much in support of this, but it's nice for them to know that we know they're supportive.
And I do want to thank our board colleague in South San Francisco, John Baker, who actually updated me and informed me about this. And I believe that they are also in support of this. And so that's the kind of collaboration that I appreciate that we can, institute when it can benefit our community. So thank you for putting this on the agenda. And I hope that my fellow colleagues find it as a benefit as well.
So would this be busing our children?
It's providing a free youth pass for public transportation.
Oh,
Yeah. So it would mean that they can
great.
ride the Samtrans for free. So
oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in support of AB 1919 just to be able to ensure that our students can actually get around
if
public
you could
transit.
speak into the microphone so we
Sorry.
can hear you.
I'm in support also of AB 1919. I feel that just being able to encourage young students at an early age to ride public transit becomes lifelong transit riders as well too, and sort of provides a lot more benefits beyond just taking the bus and train, but also sort of impacts on the environment and long-term sustainability and such. So full-heartedly in support of AB 1919 and the letter of support for it.
So are we all agreeing that we should send a letter of support for this? Should I make a motion on that?
Sure, why don't you do that?
Okay, I'll make a motion that we send a letter in support of AB 1919 from the board.
Second?
Okay, so yeah, I'd like to say I also do support this, and yeah. Anyway, yeah.
I also support this. When I think about it, I don't know if any of you knew that Samtran was providing free transportation up until recently. And for parents that have children in multiple districts that can't pick up at the same time because school ends at the same time, it allows one of the children to be able to get on a bus without having to have the parent there. Obviously, the traffic congestion, I think all of us see that. Even for people that are not maybe picking up their children during certain times of the day, you just see so many cars, and the safety of our children walking with so many people, trying to get through in a very confined area because our streets are so small, the cost, all of the above. So I think this is going to be something that's going to be a game changer, and it hopefully allows ease of mind, I will say, for our community and our families. So I support this.
So if I heard correctly, Ms. Brizuela made the first, Ms. Lingano made the second. Is that correct? If that's the case, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 That was unanimous. So next item, moving along, is
Don't start.
9M, JESD Faculty and Staff Housing Project. The administration recommends ratification of the approval for issuance of 2 separate checks payable to 1, City of Daly City for the building permit in the amount of $404,193.01, and Jefferson Union High School District for the school impact fees, developer fees pursuant to Government Code Section 53080 in the amount of $268,699.84. These payments are related to the JESD Faculty and Staff Housing Project. These will be funded by Fund 21 under Measure U and Measure U.
Good evening. It's nice to see you all again. I hope you guys have had a great summer. So just to follow up on these check amounts, anytime there's an amount over $50,000 that exceeds my limit and Superintendent Vidal's limits on what they can approve or what we can approve to pay, and we have to bring it to the board for ratification. The first amount to the City of Daly City is permits for us to start working on the workforce housing project. And the second one is developers fees. So whenever there's development of new housing, we pay a fee that goes to the schools in that area for building out the school for supposed increases in enrollment. So anytime there's anything that's new that's built, a portion of that money goes to Jefferson Union High School District, and a portion of that money will come back to us.
Cool. Thank you. Comments or questions from board members? If not, I will entertain a motion on this item.
I'll make the motion to approve, as recommended by the administration, the ratification of the approval for the issuance of 2 separate checks payable to the city of Daly City for the building permit in the amount of $404,193.01. And the second to our colleagues at Jefferson Union High School District, and as written.
Second.
First and second, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That was unanimous. Next is item N, Education, Workforce Housing, Nonprofit Organization Authorization. The administration recommends that the board authorize the superintendent or the superintendent's designee to take steps to create a 501c3 nonprofit organization for the purpose of managing the education housing. Mr. Lauro again.
Hi again. Trying to find the perfect distance to my mouth. So yeah, and speaking with the administration at Jefferson Union High School District, me along with Ms. McCulloch, our administrator on special assignment, have concluded that establishing this nonprofit can help anything that goes on, any of the decision making can be put off to the nonprofit, and when they hold meetings, any type of housing, tenant discrepancies, this board can really focus on the education of students, while the other nonprofit board can focus on workforce housing matters as a tenant relationship, landlord relationship. Throughout this whole process, we've really looked to Jefferson Union High School District and asked questions in regards to what are things that you guys have done in your thought process since they've already built their workforce housing project. And, in speaking with county council as well, we have decided that with the board's approval, we'd like to move ahead and incorporate or start a nonprofit. The makeup would be 2 board members, 3 unit members who were not living in the workforce housing, and 3 community members who preferably work in residential property management for their expertise.
Thank you. Any questions, comments from board members?
Yeah, I have a question. I have a couple questions. So, what other alternatives are there to this plan?
Well, of the community college district and the high school district, they have both formed a separate nonprofit to help with the oversight of the program. The alternative is that we have staff, and it becomes the staff members' responsibility to carry out things, and then the school board is the one that manages and provides the oversight for the housing development. So all concerns about plumbing and landscaping and trash and comes to the school board. So the benefit is that we have representatives from the school board that sit on that board, and the nonprofit handles the day-to-day with the management group that will manage the units and the upkeep and the maintenance.
So
Landlords.
why does there need to be 2 board members from this board on that board? I kind of have some questions about that.
Well, that's going to be the recommendation. You will later at a later meeting, you will approve the bylaws that talk about the composition of the nonprofit board. Right now, you're just providing direction to administration to move forward with beginning the process to establish one. And we'll come back at our next meeting so you can review and look at the bylaws and discuss, composition of representation of this board on it. That is the model that both the community college district and the high school district have used, where there's members of their governing board on the nonprofit board. But it doesn't need to be for us. We can discuss that at that meeting.
Do any other board members have questions? Because I actually have more questions, but I don't want to
No,
dominate.
I just want to tell you that I feel comfortable with it because I have spoken to the high school district and other districts that are doing the same thing. And it really works. It really works. It's not like we're going to make any changes, but we need to be there. So,
Okay, but where's the evidence that it works, Mr. President?
huh?
I'm asking the president, where's the evidence that it works?
I do not have the evidence. I will have to pass it back to my superintendent for more information. I'm sorry.
It is, I will have to get back to you on that one. I don't have evidence that it does not work.
Yeah.
It seems to be running smoothly in the districts that have done it in this way. I certainly can think of a lot of reasons why it would not work to have staff be involved intricately with this, because we're hired for the education of children, not to manage housing. So we will have staff representatives that will be attending that, administrators who will attend those board meetings, but are not not voting members of the board.
I have something to add to that, Mr. Ali. I'm sorry. Yeah, some of the anecdotal evidence that I've seen in talking to Jefferson Union High School District is, for instance, at one of their quarterly meetings, the tenants wanted to make suggestions to add more parking because that was becoming an issue. Is some of the tenants had too many cars and they want to add that, add parking or figure out a solution to parking. And to piggyback off of what Superintendent Vidal said, I believe that this board in this room, we should be focusing on the education of students. And if we burden these type of meetings, our normal meetings, with workforce housing issues consistently, it could bog down this board's ability to make decisions, or just really be bogged down.
Okay,
I just wanted to comment. I appreciate your questions. While in my mind, I support it. I appreciate your questions because I think these might be some questions that other people are sitting with. So you speaking them out loud is important. Because in my mind, I understand this only because of the experience I've had, but I think it's important to hear your questions.
Yeah, my questions are specific to recommending 2 board members to be on that other board. I want to hear the evidence that works, because it sounded like after I spoke about that, it was stated that it works. And this high school district just recently did this. I don't know how they could prove that two of their board members being on that board is a good idea. It doesn't really sound like a good idea
So
to me.
that's a question, like I said, that will come up when we review the bylaws. And right now, you are just directing us to begin the paperwork of establishing a separate oversight board that will oversee the housing development. The composition of that board, we imagine it to be that way, but our governing board decides the bylaws. Our governing board also, our district, as representatives of our district, retains ownership of that property and the buildings. Our governing board also approves all expenses that happen as a matter of business for that nonprofit board. Initially, we were not sure that that was the case, and so I was reluctant to have a separate board because I didn't want to lose ownership. I didn't want to lose oversight as a district. I didn't want to lose the ability to approve changes to bylaws. So once I was assured that those things could be preserved, then I felt comfortable coming to the board to ask for the development of this nonprofit.
Okay, I'm gonna just be honest. I need more information. So, is this a urgent something that we need to? Is this an emergency
Can
that
I-
we have to approve tonight?
Can I also make a comment before you answer that question? So I do agree with you, Trustee Ali, in the sense that I would like more information. You had mentioned that you had been conversing with our sister district on what they've done, and I do agree that they've recently just opened their housing. And so, I would say, honestly, you probably need a full 12 months calendar year to really see what works, what doesn't work, and probably even more than that, because things will change as the building gets older, all sorts of things, right? And so I think if possible, if there a way to seek out other districts that may have already had this for a while and see what they've done and what their composition of board looks like.
Yeah, certainly we can accomplish that. I would just need to know from those of you who have questions what those questions are, because I hadn't heard that there were questions until now. So please get those questions to me. Is it urgent? No. Is it important? Yes, because we do want this oversight board to start working on some decisions that need to be made. So please get those questions to me. We can table it, bring it back at the next meeting.
So
Or you can approve it, because the bylaws which govern how that board works will be approved at a later meeting.
So that was basically going to be my comment. So my question was, can you get more information? And I'll send you the email on, the questions that I have, which is really that one question. I just want to know what other boards outside of our sister district and what their composition is. In terms of what we're approving here today, we're only approving that we want to start the nonprofit. We're not approving the type of board it will be. We're not approving any bylaws. And so in that sense, I don't think that we need to table this. However, for other board members feel like we don't even want to start a nonprofit and we want to table this, and I guess that's a total different conversation than what the composition of the board will be. So as long as you're assuring us that all we're doing here today is truly just saying, yes, we agree that we do need a completely different oversight board, I'm okay with that.
I want to second that sentiment, and that's what I wanted to hear what the questions were, because that is my understanding of this, that we are not speaking directly to the composition of this, but we are speaking to approving and putting this in motion so that you can do what you need to do, because I know that there's certain paperwork that is required for this to happen. I just wanted to share, some time ago, there's a project on Mission Street, 5199 Mission Street, near Geneva and Mission, that I had served as the project manager when I was the mayor liaison to Willie Brown. And we created a nonprofit arm, and we did it for a variety of reasons. We did it for oversight, but additionally, we did it to be in place to provide a support for the residents, because they also were able to, and this is actually special from actually just an operational nonprofit arm, but we did it in mind of a form of support that allowed this nonprofit to do some level of fundraising to support the residents, instead of sending them to agencies like back in the day was HCDC on Ocean Avenue. And then here in San Mateo County, I would think our core centers or Samaritan House. So, depending on how it's structured, I did want to share that piece of my experience and understanding that I don't know how we would implement it here, but I do agree with it, but I do too. I'm not concerned, but I am wondering how the composition would look like. But I also envision the purpose of having one and or two representatives from the board is just like we have our committees. These committees that we belong to, and some of them haven't really had a lot of movement, but I would imagine our representation would be a voice in that capacity with this oversight. And then that group would report back to us. And I'm comfortable with that process. So I just wanted to name that.
And I think it'd be really good to talk to the other groups other districts who've gone through all this, and we can learn a lot from them. because maybe they made not a big mistake, but a little mistake, or maybe they wish they did it another way. But I think that's important to us to find out so that we don't have to have anything to worry about later. So that's just getting together. And maybe 2 members can go and bring back that information, 2 others can go another time. And we can really look at everything so that when we get to do a project, ours will be the best.
I have a question. So when we originally talked about this, of course, I was all for it. But I don't remember us talking about this nonprofit part. I remember us, or maybe I'm wrong, talking about hiring a management company.
So both. It will be a management company to deal with the upkeep, the maintenance, the landscaping. But when there are problems with that, they will address it. But if the problems exceed their authority, then there needs to be an oversight board. And I will invite our legal counsel to our next meeting to explain why they believe a separate body is needed for this. Because, as Mr. Lauro said, this board does not want to be bogged down with items related to the housing project. Because you have other more important, or not more important, but you have other important matters to address that another oversight board, they're not governing, they're just oversight, and they're not the managers, that's the management group. It's providing oversight to that project so that they can deal with those things. And again, they don't have the authority to spend too much money. They come back to this board and ask for permission to spend money.
So I agree with most of what's been said. But as far as the committees, like our committees aren't nonprofits. So I look at a business entity being formed and board members being a part of that. So I have questions about it. I don't know if anyone else.
Yeah, well, I think we can address those questions when we look at through the bylaws. But today is just, as Ms. Liangano, is just providing direction and authority for the district to go to the Secretary of State, open up an account there, go to, I don't know, is it the IRS? I don't know who we go to, but we go to a federal agency and we open up and begin the process there as well. And I wouldn't do that without board authority.
Thank you.
And do they have programs like this? Do they also have like homeowner association where they take care of their problem? Not problems, but they take care
It
of.
would be renters, so it would be a renters group.
Yeah.
They're not homeowners. So
Well,
they would be
I meant to
renters,
say-
a resident
Whatever they
association.
want to call it. In other words, generally speaking, they have a group, and that way.
That would be part of the residents deciding
yeah.
what they wanted.
Yeah. So they won't be coming to us and saying someone's snoring.
The walls are too thin.
Yeah, I was going to say, basically, I want to make sure that
don't-
whatever we do, once the housing is up and running, right? I don't want someone coming to, or, tenants coming to the board, and we have now a room full of, 50, 100 people that are complaining that the boiler is not working anymore, right? That doesn't seem like something that we should be dealing with, right? We should know that it's happening. We should know that maybe, something is going awry with the workforce housing that we've approved. But in terms of the day-to-day parking issues, tenant issues, that just doesn't, I'm not qualified for that. So I wouldn't want that to come here. So as long, again, from a nonprofit standpoint, and as long as we're coming back, we're setting up the bylaws, as long as they can't change the bylaws once they've happened, I think, again, I'm okay with moving forward with it.
Any other comments, questions? If not, I will entertain a motion on this item.
I'll make a motion that the board authorizes the superintendent or the superintendent's designee to take steps to create a 501c3 nonprofit organization for the purpose of managing the education housing.
I'll second the motion.
First and a second, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 That was unanimous. Next item is item O. C. Overa and Company change order request number 3 for JESD Workforce Housing Project Construction. The administration recommends ratification and approval of change order number 3 with C. Overa and Company for the JESD Workforce Housing Project Construction for an amount of $1,596,706. Original contract was approved on October 14th, 2020. This will be funded by Fund 40.
Hi again. So this change order request, when it initially started, I don't know if you guys can recall from our April 20th meeting, but there's a number that was presented to the district, and we worked to get that number down based on the build and things that we disagreed on. So the original amount the change order was supposed to be was $4,181,465, and so we've captured a saving of $2,500,084,759. We work closely with Ciovra and make sure that some of the things that they're requesting, that we negotiate them down, or things that are already spec'd out in the plans, we're not being overcharged for. Mr. Heath, do you have anything else you want to add to that?
Very specifically in the plans that they wanted to appropriate additional charges for, deny those straight out. So I'm working with contract. Realign this to the amount here, which is $1,596,706.
So we can ask questions.
Yep, go ahead.
So wait, you're saying you saved us money?
So there was a request for $4.5 million in change orders, and we said
4.5
$3 million of those are already in the contract or are not necessary. We agree that $1.5 million of those are valid, and that's what we can pay.
Okay, thank you.
I vaguely remember we approved a change order. Was that the 4 million or was it another price completely?
No, you approved a change order number 2.
Exactly. Okay.
This is change order number 3.
Got it. And
There may be
change-
another one already in the works somewhere.
Oh, come on.
So this is typical for construction
Yes.
projects. Unforeseen circumstances happen. This one in particular had a lot of city-specific regulations that the architect, when they designed, were not quite aware of them. And so when the contractor came and said, hey, we can't do this, we have to do it this way, those are extra costs that would have been in the original contract had the architect been aware of the Daly City-specific regulation.
Yeah, no, I think I remember that conversation. I guess since this is change order number 3, I guess I'm happy that we reduced that from a $4 million to a 1.5. However, the same question that I asked you in change order number 2, is this within the overall budget that we had created? Are we going into any other funds? I just want to make sure that this is not affecting other programs that we already have in place.
Luckily, when Ms. Kessler had left, she left a pretty good contingency plan, forecasting that things were going to increase in cost as they become delayed. So this is coming out of our Fund 40, and it's not going to be encroaching on any of our other budgets or our new Measure J bond. Yeah, we're okay.
Okay. And as long as you continue to adhere to that and let us know when it starts to encroach, I'm happy to move forward with this.
You'll be the first to know.
Okay.
Any other comments or
Well,
questions?
the only thing I'm thinking about is, while we're spending all of this money, this won't affect the salaries for like our teachers and
This is a capital project paid out of Fund 40. This is even, the breakdown of it is not in Fund 1, so no, it will not affect our general fund budget.
Okay, so, okay. Right, then we're gonna have them all coming down, knocking on our door. Okay. Thank you.
If there are no other comments, I'll entertain a motion on this item.
I'll make a motion to approve the change order number 3 for the JESD Workforce Housing Project for the amount of $1,596,706 million, approved on October 14, 2020, funded by Fund 40.
There's a first and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That was unanimous. Next item is item P, Board Resolution number 22-08-24, resolution of the Board of Education of the Jefferson Elementary School District entering election results into the minutes and certifying to the Board of Supervisors of San Mateo County all proceedings in the June 7th, 2022 GO bond election. The administration recommends adoption of the Board Resolution number 22-08-24, resolution to the Board of Education of the Jefferson Elementary School District entering election results into the minutes and certifying to the Board of Supervisors of San Mateo County all proceedings in the June 7th, 2022 GO bond election. Mr. Lauro again.
Hi again. This is a housekeeping item. When we pass any new measures or bonds, we have to, as a board, or you as a board, acknowledge and enter the results into the minutes. So on record, we're acknowledging the results.
I just want to say thank you to the voters of the school district for passing Measure J. Will provide a lot of value for our schools, districts, facilities, and sites. So just want to express my thanks. If there are no other comments, I will entertain a motion on this item.
I move that we approve Board Resolution number 22-08-24 for the election results into the minutes, certifying to the Board of Supervisors all the proceedings in our June 7th, 2022 GO bond election.
Second.
There's a first and a second. May I please get a roll call?
Ms. Leah Inga Anawai,
Aye.
Mrs. Brizuela,
Aye.
Ms. Jordan,
Aye.
Mr. Ali,
Aye.
Mr. Koo,
Aye. That was unanimous. Next item is item Q, resolution number 22-08-24A, resolution requesting that the Board of Supervisors of San Mateo County establish tax rate for bonds of Jefferson Elementary School District expected to be sold during fiscal year 2022-2023 and authorizing necessary actions in connection therewith. The administration recommends adoption of resolution number 22-08-24A, resolution requesting that the Board of Supervisors of San Mateo County establish tax rate for board bonds of JESD expecting to be sold during fiscal year 2022-2023 and authorizing necessary actions in connections therewith. Ms. Laura.
So this resolution is reaching out to San Mateo County as we get into this fiscal year, and this is notifying them that they need to set up tax rolls because we will be issuing a Series A of our bonds. So when you issuing a series, that means you're selling your bonds in the marketplace for us to get those funds and deploy them in capital projects across the district. We're anticipating to sell $22.5 million of the $45 million Measure J. And this is just letting the county know that we're planning to move forward with this and to get the tax levies ready throughout the county. After this, what happens is we plan meetings. We'll have Keygent come and talk about Series A. I'll be setting up, or we'll be setting up meetings with Moody's to see if we can improve our credit rating, which passes down savings to taxpayers in the county as well.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? If not, I will entertain a motion on this item.
I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution number 22-08-244 as listed.
Second.
First and second, may I please get a roll call?
Miss Leah Inga Anawai,
Aye.
Mrs. Brizuela,
Aye.
Miss Jordan,
Aye.
Mr. Ali,
Aye.
Mr. Ku.
Aye. That was unanimous. Next is item R, resolution number 22-08-24B. Resolution of the Board of Trustees of JESD approving third amended and restated bylaws for the JESD Citizen Oversight Committee. Administration recommends approval of resolution number 22-08-24B. Resolution of the Board of Trustees of JESD approving third amended and restated bylaws of the JESD Citizen Oversight Committee to include Measure J. Mr. Lorigan.
A lot of business in this meeting. So this resolution gives the authority to our current Citizen Oversight Committee to be able to have the oversight over the upcoming Measure J. It'll be running concurrently with the end of our Measure U funds, and this will be, we meet 4 times a year to go over quarterly expenditure reports, and this having Measure J on their bylaws would give them the authority to have oversight.
We've done this before. In fact, I think we interviewed some of the people. Yeah, we did. And then, or you advertise, and I forget if we get like somebody that lives in there.
This is our current Citizen Oversight Committee, so no need.
We have one already?
We already have for Measure I, Measure U, and now Measure J.
Oh, and
So
they're
it's the
still
current
available.
Citizen Oversight Committee.
Oh, good, good. Okay. I thought we were starting again. Because,
No.
All right. That's good.
Any additional comments or questions for board members? If not, I want to get a motion on this item.
I'll make the motion to approve resolution number 22-08-24B, to have the Board of Trustees of Jefferson Elementary School District approving third amended and restated bylaws for the Jefferson Elementary School District Citizens Oversight Committee.
And the motion.
First and second, may I please get a roll call again?
Miss Leah Inga Anawai,
Aye.
Mrs. Brizuela,
Aye.
Miss Jordan,
Aye.
Mr. Ali,
Aye.
Mr. Ku.
Aye. That was unanimous. Thank you. Next item is the 2022-2023 state budget adoption update. Mr. Michael Loro, Assistant Soup of Business Services, CBO, will present an update on the 2022-2023 state adopted budget. Hello again.
Hi. I've decided to stand just to switch it up a little bit. So last time we met, we had our adopted budget. We based that off of the May revision. Can I just change this microphone for a second? Check. Here we go. So we built the Jefferson Elementary School District 2022-2023 budget based on the May revision of the governor's budget. And in that time, the governor passed the budget for the state of California. And so there's some things that we included in our budget. And there's things that were passed that we didn't include in our budget. And these are those changes. Next slide. We're acknowledging right now that these changes to the budget aren't in our adopted budget, but we're recognizing that this is what's going to be the changes that you'll see at our first interim. So it came back really good. And if you guys can remember, I brought up that there was going to be a change to the base, an increase to the base. And the increase in funds that we've got from our adopted budget to the state's adopted budget is about $4.1 million, which is great news. Most of the increase was due to the 6.28% base grant increase. I believe that was from Assembly Member Ting in San Francisco. So that actually passed. Making the total increase with COLA, totaling about 12.84%. This is good news, but the actual effective increase that we're seeing in our revenues isn't 12.84%. It's 6.98% because of our declining enrollment, which is based on a 3-year average. The remainder of the increase is based on the TK add-on because we're casting a wider net for students and allowing students who are turning 5 between September 2nd and February 2nd to join TK. Next slide. So another thing that was also included in the state budget that wasn't in our budget is the use of the 1920 ADA to enrollment ratio. So the percentage of time that students are in class. So I don't know if you remember in the adopted budget meeting in 21-22, students were in the seats 93% of the time. In 1920, our prior average was about 96% of the time. By having this ADA relief, we're getting an additional $1.24 million. Some other things that were passed, we have some discretionary one-time block grants. The first one is the Learning Recovery Block Grant, $7.5 million estimated. This is more of a restricted one-time block grant. It's focused on learning recovery. It's more restrictive than the other one, and we must spend it by fiscal year 2027, 2028. This includes increasing instructional days, minutes, tutoring, increasing student supports. We're definitely going to be working with our bargaining units and trying to figure out creative ways and how we can implement different plans to use these funds. The other discretionary block grant that we've got is the Arts, Music, Instruction, Materials Discretionary Block Grant. It's about $3.2 million, and we have to spend by 2025, 2026. The intent for this is very broad. There was no talk of buying down pension relief, so STRS and PERS, depending on how they perform, the increased costs can go to pass down to districts. So this is the state's way of saying, hey, here's a little extra money. You guys decide how to spend it. And this one is a little more lenient on how we can spend it.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
So the bullet point includes increasing instructional days / minute. What exactly does that mean? Are we going to have more?
So with ESSER 3, with a lot of these learning loss mitigation funds, student supports could be mental health related. They could be tutoring related. They could also be increasing with like the ELOP, Expanded Learning Opportunities Program, increasing access to summer school. But there also is written within the language on increasing instructional minutes or days. So that would be adding days, instructional days where kids are learning.
So you're right.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not mandating that we use it in this way. It's allowing us to use it in this manner.
Yeah.
So those things would have to be negotiated
Of course.
with the union.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, another thing to follow up with that is the Expanded Learning Opportunity Program. We're estimated to get $4.6 million. This is like, if you guys can remember, this is a new program. And so we're starting to ramp up what this looks like in conjunction with our ACES grant, which is an after school grant. Yeah, we're going to try to provide as much enrichment and academic after school time for students as we can. I think the hard part here is that this is a grant that goes across the state of California, and with how many school districts there are on the peninsula or in the Bay Area, we're competing with every contractor that's out there. So tie that along with the staffing shortages for these different contractors. It's hard to get the threshold levels of students we could serve up. It's definitely been difficult with ACES. But it is exciting that we are getting these funds. And as we try to figure out more ways to provide different programs for our students.
Can I ask you to just clarify what you just said? So you're saying that, if I heard you correctly, we want to offer, well, we're offering programming, but there's not enough students signing up?
No.
Okay.
What I'm saying is we can only serve so many students based on the staff that's in these programs or providing these programs. If every school district in the Bay Area has these funds to go out and shop for different contractors to provide enrichment activities, we're competing, right? We're competing for every school district with every school district on who's available to, provide these services for our students.
Okay, so it's the opposite. There's not enough providers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that a bigger conversation that needs to be had about where are these extra funds going then? Not just in our district, but if everyone's competing and everyone's having the same problem. Yeah.
Go ahead. Right now, it's like I said, it's still ramping up. This is a new program that was implemented last fiscal year. So there's going to be like different transportation guidelines that we're going to have to follow if it's not being implemented at each school site. So right now, we're just trying to see like what's working, what our school sites and the site administrators are liking, with the students and families, their feedback. Luckily, like this money doesn't go back to the state, it stays within the district. So as we progress through this year, we're going to reevaluate and determine other ways to deploy these funds if deemed necessary. Next slide.
Combined with the increased interest of all school districts, we need to offer services till 6 p.m. for two more kids. We are at a record low unemployment rate in California. So everyone who literally wants a job has a job. And so there's a lot of factors in play that make it very difficult for us to spend this money because we can't offer the services if we don't have the service providers. And the service providers can't join us if they don't have the staff to serve our students, and they have different ratios that we have to meet as well. So
That I appreciate your question because I'm working in districts that aren't as transparent as ours. And so parents come to meetings and ask, where is this money getting allocated? And they have no say. So I appreciate you naming that this is an inclusive community process where you're going to use the feedback that you're hearing from the community and the parents of the community and our students' families. Because I think that is the transparency piece that is key as we receive and figure out how to institute it into our programming and implement programs that are reflective of the needs. So I would say I appreciate the question that has led to that answer. So I have 6 districts that I go to, school board meetings, and this is what others ask. And there's no level of transparency, which is disappointing to me. So these are the questions that need to be surfaced, and we need to continue to be those voices because we don't have parents asking those questions. And so I want to replay this to other school boards because you answered a question that I don't hear in those spaces. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I greatly welcome any questions. It just lets me know you guys are listening and you guys are awake. And so anyways, moving forward, some other things that were added on, I think the majority of what was approved in the budget is the big increase to the base that's ongoing. The ADA protection for California State Preschool Program, there's a hold harmless on attendance. The TK is expanding still, which we're generating a lot of interest, which is great. Other things ongoing for school nutrition and one-time kitchen infrastructure grants. I want to say that I helped out at MP Brown and handed out lunches, and I didn't realize how difficult it was to process that many kids, and you just want to give all the kids all the food, but it doesn't work like that. And I will say, one of the students that presented today, her name is Bianca. She helped me out, and she was like the 5th grade lunch helper, and she helped me out a lot. And so I felt good giving her confidence to come up and speak too. So she was great. Next slide. Other than that, though, those are the main changes. They're really good for the district, and it's a really good budget for the state of California and all public school districts within the state of California. Next up, the next meeting we'll be having on September 14th. We'll be going over the unaudited actuals. So how did we do in the last year? And then plans moving forward. Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you. I do have a question, actually. I feel like I always ask this question about the color table, the multi-year projections. How does the 4.6 million you said? How does that, or 4.1, whatever, how does that play into our multi-year projections? In the
It's good, but then now we're we are in the term of long-term planning, or in the process of long-term planning of how do we deploy these funds to our staff members and different programs. So it's a good problem to have. There's a saying by the state of California, School Services of California, school districts, they don't get in trouble when it's bad times, they get into trouble when it's good times. So we have to always just try to make sure that we're protecting the fiscal health of the district moving forward, so that no programs are affected, and we don't have to have any drastic changes. Just having continuity for our families in the community.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any other questions? If not, this was just for information. So thank you very much, Ms. Laura.
Thank you.
Next item is item 10A, certificated personnel, certificated resignations 2021-2022. The administration recommends acceptance of the following resignations and requests appropriate resolutions be prepared, commending those with 10 or more years of service with the district. Colleen Miller, Program Coordinator for Special Ed. Rachel Carrion, Principal at Ben Franklin. Carrie Rosoff, Kindergarten Teacher at Thomas Edison. Samantha Tai, 8th Grade Science Teacher at Ben Franklin. Alicia Gomes, 6th to 8th Grade RSP Intern Teacher at Ben Franklin. Roberta Rochetti, Speech Pathologist at JFK. Megan Chan, Counselor at Daniel Webster. Tana Siebert, Special Science Teacher at TRP. And Nicole Wolf, 2nd Grade Teacher at MP Brown. Any questions or comments? If not, I will entertain a motion on this item.
I'll make a motion to approve, as recommended by the administration, the acceptance of the following resignations and requests appropriate resolutions be prepared, commending those with 10 or more years of service with the district. And these transitions are tough, but we wish you all well.
Second the motion.
First and a second, may I please get a roll call?
Miss Leah Inga Anawai,
Aye.
Mrs. Brizuela,
Aye.
Miss Jordan,
Aye.
Mr. Ali,
Aye.
Mr. Koo.
Aye. That was unanimous, and thank you for your service to our district. Next item is item 10E, Administrative Appointment 2022-2023. The administration recommends approval of the following administrative appointment. Megan Jennings, Principal of TR Policy at the Middle School, effective July.
So as you're aware, we had some late midsummer administrative changes, and fortunately we landed on our feet. And I'm happy to make the recommendation that Ms. Megan Jennings, who had been the vice principal over at Thomas R. Policy for the prior 5 years, was recommended and will be approved here by the board as the next president. She's principal. Sorry, something slipped out there. It's election nearby.
It's getting late, I know.
Yeah, it's getting late, yeah. But school started. It's been a really great beginning, and I'm just really excited as former principal over at TRP myself that Miss Jennings and her colleagues are over there. And she is here if after the board takes action, if you'd like to have her say a few things. So
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
I'll make a motion to approve the administrative appointment of Megan Jennings principal of TR Policita Middle School, effective July 22nd, 2022. And on step 4.
Second.
First and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Yay.
That's unanimous. Congratulations.
Oh, I was looking for her. She was hiding.
What about there?
I didn't see her earlier.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. Good evening, school board members, district office staff, colleagues, and my community. My name is Megan Jennings, and I wanted to express my deep appreciation and excitement in being appointed the proud new principal of Policita Middle School. I have spent the last 15 years as an educator in our district, most recently as the vice principal at TRP. I look forward to making more strides at the place I call home, learning and growing alongside my dedicated teachers, fellow admin, and supportive school community. Thank you again for this opportunity, and I look forward to this middle school adventure ahead. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Thank you and congratulations again. Next item is item 10G, provisional internship permit 2022-2023. Administration recommends approval of a multiple subject provisional internship credential for the 2022-2023 school year for Malik Evangelatos while he completes his credential program at San Francisco State University in spring of 2023. Mr. Evangelatos will be teaching 6 core English and social science at TR Policita Middle School. Mr. Valenti.
Thank you. As you've mentioned on many occasions tonight about the difficulty recruiting staff, sometimes we have to be creative, and as staff members, or excuse me, teachers are coming up through their credential process, we can request and apply for various types of waivers. In this case, multiple subject provisional internship credential. Mr. Evangelatos helped us during virtual schooling, and this year when we had a late resignation, and we were able to tap that, and Mrs. Librand, who works for Magic incredibly, was able to get this provisional internship credential set up. So we're just requesting that the board approve that credential.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion on this item.
I make a motion that we approve the provisional internship permit for Malik Evangelatos.
Second.
First and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That was unanimous. Next is item 11A, retirement, classified personnel. The administration recommends approval of the retirement requests from the following classified employees and requests appropriate resolutions be prepared, commending them for their years of service with the district. Maria Eloise Isip, Gloria Morales, and Rachel Ramirez. Mr. Valenti?
Sure. Thank you. Again, these folks have put in many good years here at our school in various capacities, and I just want to say thank you on behalf of the district and some of these folks I've worked with personally just for their service, and to wish them the best of luck in their retirement period.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
I just wanted to say thank you for their service, and I actually want to do a special shout out to Ms. Ramirez, who has just been a joy to see, you know, in our cafeterias. I met her probably when she just started. Looking at the date, I recall meeting her in the cafeteria, and I love the service that a lot of our staff there in the cafeteria provide, especially encouraging and identifying students of need. Sometimes that's where they see outside of the classroom, and that's what I saw in Ms. Ramirez. So I just want to commend them for their service, and a special shout out to Rachel Ramirez. And with that said, I'd like to make a motion for to approve these retirements as written and recommended by the administration, and also request that these employees get appropriate resolutions be prepared commending them for their years of service with the district.
Second motion.
First and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That was unanimous. And thank you all for your service with the district. Next is item 11B, resignations, classified personnel. Administration recommends approval of the resignations from the following classified employees and requests appropriate resolutions be prepared, commending them for their service with the district. Mary Ogoy, Kathy Rudani, and Elizabeth Almodovar. Mr. Valenti.
Not quite competing yet here with Mr. Laro's floor time, but again, it's always difficult to lose longtime employees, and especially with the labor shortage in education. But these folks are moving on into new parts of their life, and I just want to thank them for their service, as with all the folks that have either retired or resigned from our district, and thank them and wish them the best of luck in their next stage of work.
Thank you. Any comments, questions? If not, I will entertain a motion on this item.
I'll make the motion to approve as recommended by the administration the resignations from the following classified employees and request appropriate resolutions be prepared, commending them for their years of service with the district.
Second.
First and a second, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That was unanimous, and thank you again for all of your service to our district as well. Next item is item 12A, Board Policy Administrative Regulations, March 2022, CSBA Board Policy Updates. The board review and revise Board Policies Administrative Regulations from March 2022 CSBA Board Policy Updates as stated in a first reading. Are there any comments or questions or thoughts? If not, I will entertain a motion on this item.
Make a motion that we approve the board policies and the updates as a first reading. I saw nothing that I needed change, so.
Second.
There's a first and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That was unanimous. Next item is item 13, persons wishing to address the board on unagendized or closed session items. This portion of the agenda is available for individuals to comment on or address the board on any issue that is under the board's jurisdiction and not on the agenda or on an item addressed in closed session. Maximum time allowed for any speaker is 2 minutes. Are there any speakers tonight? No. Okay. Seeing none, I will then move on to governance team member comments, reports, and board meeting reflections. I will start off on my right instead today.
I didn't get to comment on after Principal Jennings had spoke, but I think she would do fine too as president. You can grab that title too. For the record, it's been noted. I just want to say congratulations. I know that you have huge shoes to fill, but you're ready and capable. So I just want to say congratulations, and I wish you well. I know you're going to do great. Yeah, I want to especially thank my colleague on the board, Trustee Ali. This is just something I continue to love about, serving with you, is that a lot of times questions sit with us, and, we go throughout our day and we know we had these questions, and then we lose them somewhere. And you have always been a constant. You show up ready with these questions that many times I find I'm sitting with or have escaped me. So I really want to thank you for doing that this evening. And I appreciate Mr. Laro. I really do. The detail that you provide us to be able to process the information. So I'm very, very grateful. Commend everyone that, is transitioning out of our district, whether it's through resignation or through retirement. We wish you well. We're having a hard time, retaining and recruiting teachers, not just here, but everywhere. So it's a hard job. It's a hard job. So thank you, Mr. Valenti, and everyone who is trying to ensure that we get quality staff to our district and to stay in our district. So thank you for that. And I just want to extend my appreciation to my board colleagues. I feel like I haven't seen you all in so long, and you know, we're just sit in such uncertainty that I've been making a more concerted effort to say thank you every opportunity that I can. So I want to say thank you. I take great pride in being a part of this thinking institution with all of you and having great thought partners. And I share that because I said earlier, I've seen 6 districts not do what we do here. And so it gives me great pride to brag about JESD. And so thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you, Mr. Vidalis. Thank you very much, Ms. Scott, and the invincible, incredible Maria. We're so grateful for you. Yeah, thank you. Mad love for our educators and our staff. Have a very special place for all of you. So have a great rest of the week. Be safe and be well. I mean, we're still sitting in this pandemic. So let's continue to be respectful and mindful that it's still with us. But thank you.
Oh, well, I'll just say diddle to everything you said. But I think, you know, instead of looking at all the things that were not so good, we have to think of how good it's going to be. It's going to be good. And I think almost everybody I know has been vaccinated. In fact, we already got our booster, a booster's booster, no. And I think we can do a lot of good stuff. And I think we should be proud of our district and work together just to make it still the best it is. That's why I don't want to leave. I said to myself, wait a minute, 42 years will be good. Anyway.
I echo my fellow board trustee sentiments. When I walked in, me and Clayton were like, oh, wow, haven't seen you in a really long time. So it feels good to be back. It feels good to have our students present to us. It really feels good to do what we were called to do and to serve this community. And I'm excited for this school year. Even though we are still in a pandemic, I see it's getting better and better. Our students are a little bit more like Superintendent Vidalis said about the kindergartners. They're ready. They're excited to be back in school. They're happy to see their friends, their teachers. I think the teachers and the staff feel the same way. And I look forward to an amazing school year.
So I started off acknowledging the teachers. So now I'd like to commend all the administrators, especially since there's so many here tonight. And I have noticed that the principals they're consistent here. So thank you for your service. Congratulations to Principal Jennings for stepping up and increasing your contribution and service. And as well, all of my fellow board members. I had that same feeling when I walked in. I was the last one, and I was actually surprised to see all of us here in person. So I've seen some talking heads over the screen a couple of times. So anyway, this is the first time we've been together. I think it seems like since we had our, I don't want to call it retreat, but anyway, so thank you for showing up, and I'm looking forward to whatever else we're going to accomplish together.
Thank you. Mr. Vidalis?
Yes, I think we had a great meeting today. Some good questions were raised, and as much as I like to feel good about how well I can think on my feet, I'm not that great. So please get your questions to me before the board meeting so I can feel competent. But thank you for your questions, and I look forward to the next meeting and getting your questions beforehand. Thank you.
And I will just say, whatever everybody has said so far tonight, happy early Labor Day in a week or so, and hope everyone stays safe and healthy as well. And then next is convene to closed session. Before I do so, we are going to close in memory of several individuals. Hazel Brower, retired reading coordinator, administrator. Phil Longyam, Kim, husband of Diana Yan, school administrative assistant at JFK Elementary School. Isidro Cabengan, father of Ritez Monge, special circumstance instructional assistant at George Washington Elementary School, and father-in-law of John Jason JJ Mongni, warehouse worker and delivery driver. And lastly, Romulado Magallanes Sr., father of Romulado RJ Magallanes Jr., instructional assistant PE at Westlake and Woodrow Wilson Elementary Schools. I'd like to ask for a moment of silence in their honor. Cool. Thank you. We will convene to closed session. We'll take a 5-minute recess and we'll come back at 9 o'clock. Thank you for coming tonight.